It's my pleasure to come and interact with you today. The theme which I have chosen is the inclusion of emerging technologies in government projects. All of you, I have seen you are trying at your respective positions to definitely bring a change, to bring better quality of life for all our citizens. Wherever we are, in any state, any local bodies, municipalities, I have interacted with many of you, and everyone wants a common theme. How can I bring through technology, is it possible to render better services? And if you see last 2 decades, what we did is, I'll just go to the next slide. This is the one, what we are doing actually today. Many of us are directly associated, some are indirectly associated, and our organization, you might be wondering the name, I just briefly introduce, Center for Good Governance. So I am here as a Director General, Center for Good Governance. What do we do in good governance? We try to take the governance to the people, right from the top, from the Prime Minister office to the bottom. Everybody wants to serve the people, and the technology is the biggest enabler. What we started right from just dissemination of some services or some information through portals. If you remember 2 decades back, we used to talk about, I have done a portal, now whatever I am doing, it can reach the people. Whatever government schemes are being launched can reach the people. From there, then we are talking about citizen-centric services, empowering citizens, process re-engineering, building a new kind of projects, programs. Then we went to a one-stop shop. Can we deliver like any other shop? We go to supermarket and want to shop whatever we like. We choose the product. Similarly, can we do? And on that concept, you can see right from again CSCs in Government of India to various state governments. They have their own CSCs. We also have our own in Telangana called Sabha. And through that, today we are giving more than 1500 services. So I think we reach a stage right from web-based projects, which CGG also, with this experience I thought this is the right topic, because web-based projects we are serving, we are designing our own mobile apps and giving to 8 state governments in the country, and we are also providing services to Government of India ministries. With that background, now as you know, e-governance is synonymous with the governance itself. We can't think of, like in earlier, there is no e-governance. If it is not there, even the services, we have a project which is My Sand Taxi, which got a national award. In that, I have seen there was some disruption in the servers which stopped for about 5 to 7 minutes, and there was a queue of tractors which were trying to fill the sand there. You can imagine, I mean, the whole life of citizen, government officials, everything is so much dependent on that E hanging on the government, e-governance. Everything, if you see, most of the projects starts with the name E and then the project name. Now the time has come to another revolution, and you must be hearing in this conference in last 2 days about emerging technologies. Now that emerging word is not new, technologies you are aware. What I will do is I will walk through some of the technologies, how they are useful, but the bottom line is, it is, in my opinion, we have done e-governance projects, then we did lot of m-governance like mobile, because mobile has a wide reach. Almost like whatever is our population, we have almost same number of mobiles. Those many mobile users, out of them, it is more than 60-65% smartphone users have enabled us to reach our services in the government domain particularly, to reach every household. We can do that wonder, and very small amount of time because of the technology. The new technologies are emerging, and now the time has come. I think the first step is emerging technologies will of course they are enabling us to think differently. Number one, it is not an incremental change. It is a totally different world which will impact and make our life much better. Because what we are doing till now, human brain, we are thinking, we are adding some value, we are creating some software, and software will help the people. In emerging technologies, we are creating machines which, ultimate goal is they will think like human being, but it will take a lot of time, another maybe 3-4 decades. But right now what these machines can do, we tell them how do we think, how do we have supervised learning, the way we started learning from our childhood. And these are the AI and ML technologies which are everywhere. People say, even if somebody comes and sells a small machine, even a washing machine, they will say AI enabled machine, sir. Isn't it? So in government also, how do we tap that? Infusion of emerging technologies in every government sector is bound to happen. And can we become enablers in that? Can all of us which are sitting in the hall think differently, tap these technologies? And there are a number of examples. I will walk you through some examples, Government of India, state government, and then today I want you to go back and think what we can do in our own departments. Can we bring this technology which is widely available and make that dynamic change? These are the things, these are the technologies which are widely talked about as emerging technologies, like artificial intelligence is on the top, and it is normally clubbed with machine learning. They are together, though they are not technically. Big data, blockchain, Internet of Things, VR, AR, drones, robotics, cloud computing. Earlier, people were thinking in government, we can use only some of them. But in my opinion, all of them are applicable. Right from initially, when blockchain, if you remember how it started with cryptocurrency. No one was knowing what is blockchain. They were talking, blockchain, crypto, we know. Cryptocurrency, we buy, it will multiply, that's it. Common man knows about that. But the technology behind it, this is much more relevant to government than to any other sector. Because of the government working, the government kind of, the processes, if we make it transparent, how to make it transparent, that is the biggest challenge. Blockchain address that. Internet of Things, how do we connect so many machines and then the final outcome. I will give example, concrete example. Let me move to the biggest thing which is talked about in the country is another is the jobs. People are thinking, how do we create more jobs? And this is one of the best technologies which are now providing. If you see, this is the McKinsey report says the top 10 emerging technology and how much job potential it is. So when so many people are connecting to you and they talk about what this new technology, can I learn and all, you can guide them. There are many IS officers also, I think, in the hall today. Linkage with the startup. Just now you heard about T-Hub, and there are a lot of innovation centers. Of course, T-Hub has shown the lead, started about 5 years back in a small office, and then they expanded, and nowadays you heard him. So what T-Hub is doing, I am just mentioning this slide here because there is a strong connection in what we call a Startup India, T-Hub, and our youngsters. Our younger generation between 15 to 45, we are the country which is fortunate, which we have more than I think 50% in that zone, which is in a working age group. And that is what we have to also think, can we provide them job? And these technologies do answer that. And I have put a slide here, and you will be surprised, there are 4,500 startups in emerging technology alone have come up. And how this will help, because you always think that emerging technologies are there, but were there agencies who can come and help us in government? This will be the next question. Where do I look for? And the answer is there. The technologies are new, but there are organizations, there are startups, and they are equally passionate. The younger generation is equally passionate. Initially you can just see one or two examples where you can use anywhere basically. Just think of it, and emerging technologies have application in every walk of life, every walk of life. And this is some of that which you can see. It is used in pest control, it is used in even the identification of beneficiary and curb malpractices, and then even allocation of the Swachh Bharat India, the toilets which were allocated, how to track them. If the people used to talk when I joined service about what is that story of cow. The cow will be given to some beneficiary. That was a very popular program 30 years back. And then we give it to DRDA cows, and then they will circulate. They will be sold, and then again it will come back to the system, then it will be given to another set of beneficiaries. These were the days, people can correlate, and now the time has come that you will be wondering, we can identify even the toilets from the images and then geofence the image and ensure that people are at the same place. So many simple techniques if you go through this, but basically what these do, what we are tapping in AI is the ability of image recognition. Many of them are built on image recognition alone. Some of them are on speech recognition. The audio, video, basically what our world is. Then the decision making, language translation. For example, there are projects for the blind people which will translate and speak to him. Depending on the obstacle, it will sense, that sensor will sense where are the obstacles and translate into audio and tells him there's something, bus with blue color is going at such and such distance. That is the technology, and it is all in real time. He need not take a stick and keep on walking. We are enabling with the emerging technologies. These are some of the examples in government. You wanted to know something what government did, and this is as you know what happened in corona period, the dissemination of information, dissemination of correct information, stopping spreading of rumors and false information, helping people and where to get vaccine or before getting vaccine, what to do and all, how to take precaution. All those things are handled by even integrating with WhatsApp chatbot. Many of us are now taking for granted saying that usme hai, app mein hai, everything is there. How it has come? The kind of 3 lakh hits or 20,000 hits per minute, that kind of thing, if you put a help desk, is it possible? Humanly impossible task. Government thought over it, implemented in a span of 1 week, and then they rolled it out. And this is like, I think, some 6 crore people have used it so far. I mean, last year figure. Then we have Jal Shakti. The first one is of AI enabled one. The second one is about the IoT devices, how they are using. Drinking water, many of you are knowing about Jal Shakti ministry. The project is about taking a pure drinking water to the homes of people in rural areas, right? Now, as you are aware, how do you track it? Whether the water is pure, whether the water is, what is the groundwater level, suppose you are tapping from the source. All those things are possible to track with the sensors. You have a flow meter sensor, pressure meter sensor, you are having the sensor for groundwater depth, what it has gone, and all these sensor, suppose they give a data in a dashboard, then some human being has to process it, isn't it? But imagine this data is not processed by human being, they are processed by IoT devices. These devices talk to each other in real time and decide when to open a wall in a remote area, when to the tank has to be gone for a cleaning up, or when this kind of pressure is built up or not built up. All these things are handled through this IoT project. The third one is even the codes are not behind. The Honorable Supreme Court has last year has set up a committee on this, and this kind of AI based justice delivery system, what they do, they browse all this kind of information which is required with the case, and it is with the assistance with the audio and text. a summarized text or the major points that has been extracted and it is shown to them. Otherwise, judiciary, it is very difficult at higher level. For one single case, they have to go through thousands and thousands of pages. It's humanly impossible. So they have also come out with a AI based solution and they are using it. I think it is called SUPACE. You can Google it. National Highways Authority has come out with an innovative thing of attendance of the field stop. National Highway Authority, these people have to go to the field to a very long distances and then, whether the consultants, engineers, whether they are attending or not. So tracking their unique ID and through AI based system is the project they have done. Similarly, Telangana, our own state, have done a real-time digital authentication of identity. It is a very simple thing till now, or in many states even now. What we do about the pensions? Many people have to give their certificate that they are alive, then only they will get continuity of pension every year. Come that November and everybody will be, old people will be queuing up, isn't it? They have to go to bank and say, I am alive. So, what government of Telangana has done for this is simple. They have given an app. You look into the app, I am in pensioner, and it will capture a live photo. That live photo is validated and it is a simple proof. No other proof is required. That's it. Imagine how much help we are giving to the older generation who are dependent on small pension. And this validates your demography as well as your liveness, that it is a live photo, it is not a photo on photo. There is a technology, that's why it is AI based. We are also having now another technology of drones. As you see there, the Medicines from the Sky project was launched and drones are being deployed to take essential medicines from the government hospital to the PSCs. Many people who are here, who have worked in remote areas, they can understand how critical it is to save patients. Ambulances won't reach in time. And even remote areas, it will be cut off through the rivers and then other geographical barriers. This is a very important project. And thereafter, Tamil Nadu has done a cataract screening app. In old age, cataract is common, but people do not have the access to go to doctor and screen it. Very simple thing. With a mobile app, just you can look into that, it will take a photograph of your eye and then it will figure out whether cataract is there or not. How it does? It checks with the millions of photographs and it figure out, yes, this person has cataract, the other one doesn't. So it is now running with 93% efficiency, it will go more than 96%. These are the things. In Uttar Pradesh, AI based tracing of criminals. CCTNS project was there since last 10 years. But government of UP has roped in number of their all officials in the police departments, all data at one place and then connected to a mobile app with only video and photo recognition. They can trace the criminal very, very fast. They have also done a similar projects for tracking the tracking prisons, whether there is a likelihood of breaking of prison and the criminals going out. So they analyze the video footage and find it out. I took some time on this because I am just giving you a concrete example. Even now, our country, 50% of it depends on agriculture, and going forward, with the increase in population, agriculture is a very, very important subject. It will always remain. Agriculture, so many things are happening. You will be wondering in what AI can do in agriculture. Agriculture department people, if they are there, you can see, you can monitor the yield of the production. You can also monitor the pesticide spraying. So instead of spraying a large amount of chemicals, which is hazardous to all of us, and we are also shifting on organic, you are aware that a right amount of pesticide at the right amount of time. How do we decide on such a large number of crop? So I think predictive insights, agriculture, so many applications are there. On the blockchain side, we have blockchain technology is like a decentralized ledger. How much time? 5 minutes? Right, just give me 5 minutes. I'll just run through the essence. The blockchain technology, which I said, which is very, very useful to governments anywhere, because it's a decentralized ledger and it is not validated by single agency. So when it is validated by multiple agencies, the authenticity is proved. You can use the blockchain into various kind of sectors, and I'll just rush through, and I hope this will be available presentation, you can go through this. Government birth and death department, we did this prototype for blockchain for GHMC, our municipal corporation, Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. Birth and death certificates, when there are authentic birth and death certificates, will be available through blockchain. Public distribution system, blood bank, and you can go through land records, is a very important kind of application for blockchain. So these are the applications. Drones, I have explained one. There are many. I am just, this I think he covered, Paneer Selvam has covered, so I'll just go through. We have this sand mining kind of menace to many states. Wherever there were rivulets, there is a sand mining issue. How these drones can be helpful? They can track the sand reaches and they can find out the depletion of sand reaches, as well as they can inform, they can also identify the number plates. And you can find out whether the tractor or lorry is legally transporting or illegally transporting. So that is possible to these kind of applications, which we are now trying, a combination of drones and AI. This is one, a concrete example. We are now trying, we are develop this solution, we are trying to test it out. Another one, finally, in the, this is the last slide, last minute, this is about data analytics, how this will be helpful. We are dealing with intermediate board examination processing. We have a data, and from that data analytics for so many years, we can tell about the streams, now about the region wise, what is the performance over the years, where we are heading. That analytics can also help us in connecting with the engineering and medical stream, where the people do well in intermediate but may not do well in the MSET examination. So why it is so? What kind of corrective factors are required at a state level to take decision making? So this is possible only based on data, not on some kind of somebody's assumption, not because of I think so. And lastly, we can also apply for the jobs, because then we know, we have those details about the how many jobs have been created, how many jobs people are not, they are unemployed and enrolled. From that database and analytics, we can work out what can be done for the employment exchanges, what they should do, what the engineering colleges about number of seat reduction, increase they can do. All this thing is possible with the emerging technologies and the big data analytics. So I have given some examples, and finally I request all of you just to think over and go back, discuss with your officers also, ki AI, ML, blockchain and drones, all these technologies are going to make a big impact. How do we tap it early? How do we help our own governments wherever we are? Because people are available to help you out, just look out and start using. So that's what my theme was today's presentation, inclusion of the emerging technologies in government projects. Please do include and serve people better. Thank you so much.